Former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger is warning that Vladimir Putin may use nuclear weapons in Ukraine. Here to talk about that, retired four-star general, chairman for the Institute of the Study of War, Fox News senior strategic analyst, General Jack Keane, my great friend and mentor. So, General Keane, you may have seen this and read all this stuff, but Kissinger speaking at the Financial Times conference, he said 6 months ago, I would not have thought Putin would start a war of this scale in Europe or anywhere else. And then he said Putin could deploy nuclear weapons. And he said that should be a subject of reflection for the U.S. That's Henry Kissinger. He went on to say, Jenna, we can't just accept it. It would open a new world of blackmail. What you think about that, Kissinger weighing in, sir?
Yeah, well, certainly, and I think where we are, frankly, when it comes to nuclear weapons, because they've been brandishing it, for almost a couple of months, the possible use of it. Although I was pleasantly surprised that in the May 9th speech, there was no veiled threat about nuclear weapons, certainly no overt threat about it either, which was certainly good news by Vladimir Putin, that is. But what Henry Kissinger is talking about certainly is, if you unpack this thing, and let's just assume he did use a tactical nuclear weapon in and around Ukraine someplace, and the United States and NATO did not respond to that, what Kissinger is saying is that he's going to do it again. He'll use it as a blackmail weapon to impose his will on occupying and taking control of a NATO country. So obviously, Putin needs to understand that if he's going to use a nuclear weapon, Larry, that this indeed is going to expand the war, and the consequences for him as a result of that would be really quite horrendous. I'm not suggesting that the response necessarily has to be in like kind to tackle a nuclear weapon. I believe the White House has a tiger team looking at all the options that would be presented to a president, and there's certainly a range of them. But just to give you a feel for what my thought is if something like that happened, and it would be horrendous, I would make certain before that happened that Mr. Putin understood clearly what is in the president's mind, and that is that we would go to war with you over that. That's for fact. Certainly NATO, we want them to us to join us, but we can't guarantee that. It takes 30 votes to do that. But your army will be crushed inside of Ukraine.